Good morning, Michelle here, mycrazyworkout.com. I have a new video today. I know it's the beginning of the week, unusual. My husband is traveling and it's raining today. And the boys had to get up to do something for ROTC, for orientation. So I had to be here to make sure they got up and got moving. Today we're going to do the second part of my metabolic training. This is the style that I do at the gym. I had an outpouring of comments from everybody that left me speechless about they like the style, it was tough. It's amazing what you can do. You don't have to do train like a guy. You don't have to do one exercise and then wait for a minute. You want to piece them together, and that's what it's all about. It's about how the exercises that you put together. You don't have to do a lot of weight, and you can get results with lower weights. They still have to challenge you, but they don't have to be enormous weights. You don't have to go as high as possible, because it's more about the repetitions and doing each exercise one after the other, which keeps your muscles fatigued. So today is a chest, tricep, and a thigh day. So we are going to hit the inner thighs and some of the quadricep. So the cool thing about it is I like to do the quads first to fatigue them, so that when I hit the inner thighs, I am not using my quads. And I am going to, when we get to the second circuit more importantly the third circuit, where I'm going to use the bench. And you don't need a bench. If you don't have it at home, it's okay. You don't have to have a bench. If you have a step stool or a stair, if you have a two-story house, you can even use the steps. I have trained the people at my gym who don't have that. You know, they'll do lunges at their steps. You don't have to, you can do it to the floor. The nice thing about the benches is it helps you with the angle, because so many people say, oh, my knees hurt, I can't do lunges, front lunges. It's usually because when you're lunging forward, you are hyperextending your knee. So instead of planting the foot and dropping down and feeling the inner thigh, most people are lunging forward and putting all the weight in their front lunging leg, the front leg that's lunging out. And they're hyperextending, they're bringing their knee past their toe. So we are going to practice good form today. So in the warm-up, I am going to make you hold a stretch. And let's get started, and I'll explain it as we're warming up. So let's march it out. I know, it's just a basic warm-up. We got to open up those chests though, because we are going to do, don't worry, Kanchana, we're not doing a ton of push-ups. Chest day does not mean that you have to do a ton of push-ups. There are other exercises you can do. But back to the lunge, back to holding, we're going to hold a stretch. And if you do yoga, then you know it's a low runner stretch. And even if you're a workout person, everybody has probably done this, and I do it in the cool downs at the end. But I want you to think about it. I'm going to link, I have a video that's really awesome. Toe tap here, tap it out so I can talk. I have a video that's awesome. I did it yesterday. It was a yoga video, and it's not very long. It was just a morning yoga flow to get everything moving before I got into more serious yoga stuff, because Sundays are my yoga day. And it's yoga with Adriene, and it's just a morning flow, I think was what it was called. And she does the runner stretch in there, and she explains it so well, where you're not on a tightrope where one leg is behind the other. Raise your arms up. You are, my shoulders, they need to be woken up. You are side by side with your feet on a plane, and you want to pull those inner thighs to stabilize you. It's not about holding with the quadriceps, it's about the inner thighs. Come across the chest here. So, when we plant, because we're going to be doing side lunges and we're going to be doing front lunges, so we're going to plant here and stretch out those inner thighs before we start working them. And I'm going to make you hold that and make you understand what I'm talking about in this warm-up. All right, heels out and open up. Open up that chest. Oh, got to wake up my shoulders and my arms. It must be from the vinyasa flows yesterday, where you do the chaturangas, and not a good day to be doing chest and triceps. That's okay. We'll get warmed up here. Pull them down, knees up. Okay, so we're keeping with the same thing that we did the other day. You do 4 exercises. You have a cardio move that you do after the 4th exercise before you go back around and repeat it again. 4, 3, 2. We're going to plant those legs and lunge side to side. Now, like I said before, if you're new to this training, I always start the beginners out with 2 rounds. The first round to get familiar with the exercise, the second round to really understand it. The third time I'm going to go through it for the advanced people who know or want a longer workout, but each section will be broken up with an orange border. So if you're a beginner, fast forward to circuit 2 and do your circuit 2 and then to circuit 3. All right? Okay, we're gonna hold on the right side. Hold right here. Turn that toe up. Stretch out that inner thigh right here on the left leg. We're gonna turn to the left. All right, so plant the foot, turn to the left, come down into a runner's lunge. Now, at this point, you're not going forward and hyperextending that knee. You're pelvic tilting, so you're pushing your tailbone down and you're thrusting your hips forward. And you should feel that in the inner thighs, especially the one that's down. And this is what I want you to feel when we do this, when we do the front bench lunges. I want you to concentrate on that. Instead of putting all the weight into this leg right here, whichever leg is out, the quadricep, I want you to think about that inner thigh. So, come back up, turn, and we're gonna go over to the other side. Turn that toe up. Stretch out that inner thigh that we just hit. You should have felt that. You should have squeezed. You want to squeeze them together. Adriene's video is awesome. It would be an awesome finisher to my workout. Like if you did it in the evening, you don't have to do it in the morning. Come forward onto the right, drop that left knee. And again, you're not coming out like this. You're not lunging at these hips. You are pelvic tilting, so remember that. You're pushing your tailbone down to the floor, and you're tilting your pelvis up, so you're tucking your butt under, and you should feel that in the inner thighs. And especially if you come up into a runner stretch like this, and you lower down, you really have to hold those inner thighs together to hold you stable, okay? So, we should all be warmed up. Timer is running. We're going to start with the first circuit. The first circuit's going to be close grip pullover with close grip press. I'm going to do 15. If you are an advanced person and you've done this before, you can do up to 20 repetitions. But I would recommend, 12 to 15. Upper body's always less than the lower body if that's where you want to lose. Dips and then kickbacks. And then we're going to do plank, we're going to do plies with a jump squat. So, I'm going to lay on the bench. I'll lay on the floor and show you. You can either use a dumbbell, your sandbag, Conchana, I know you have a sandbag. So, if you're laying on the floor, bring that weight up above you, all right? Now, important, engage the core, so press that back into the floor, which pelvic tilts. You're going to go back and up, down and up. That's 1, 2. Now, when your arm goes back, when your arms go back, your back should not be lifting off the floor. You should be engaging that core and stabilizing it. Here's 6. Here's 7. 8. You don't need a bench to do these. 9. There's 10. 11, here's 12. I'll do it with the sandbag the next time around. 13, 14, 15. All right, we've got dips and then tricep kickback. So if you want to make the dips harder, you find something to elevate your feet on. With your feet up, you're using more body weight. If you bend the knees, it's like half of your body weight. You want your hands lined up with your butt, and when you come down, you want your elbows to bend and not flare out. Here's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Ooh. Okay, we got kickbacks. Kickbacks, you're gonna stand, and you're gonna take it from the elbow to the shoulder, stay still. You're bending at the elbows. There's 3, 4, 5, 6. When you bend over, engage that core. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right. Plies squat 2 times with a jump and then into a plank. And we're doing 10 of these, 10 to 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2 more. You got it? 2. Last one. You know what's next? Low broad jump with a duck walk. Oh, I have to stay on the mat. My floor is slippery. All right. So, broad jump, duck walk back. This is where you hit the quads. Stay low. 2. Here's 3. You can add push-ups in if you want to, but we're getting the chest. 4. Here's 5. We're halfway there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. 7. 1, 2, 3. Fill it in the quads. 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's 9. 1, 2, 3, and 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. Woo! All right, now we go back. Okay, my water is 25 pounds. You can do it either way. You can either take the bag narrow, or you can go wide with the handles. Mine has water in it, so I prefer to go narrow, I think, but I'll show you both ways. 1, I can't go down as low because it sags. There's 3. Don't forget, engage the core. Don't let that back lift off as you lower that weight over your head. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This gets the chest, the rectus abdominis, which is the whole front of the abdominals from the pelvis to the rib cage, as well as the triceps when you lower it down. 13, 14, Here's 15. Okay, put that back there. Dips are next, and then kickbacks. Now, if you don't have anything to elevate to, you can do one-legged. 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Woo. Tricep kickbacks. Engage the core, bend over at the waist. Back is flat. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm competing with the frogs. They're loving this rain. Woo. Okay. Plies Squat pulse to a jump into a plank. 1. You should be feeling them in your inner thighs, wide enough that you feel them. Don't do any weight so you can go down low enough and feel them. 3, 4, 5. You can add push-ups in if you want. If you're hardcore and you want to add push-ups in, by all means, add a push-up. 7, 8. But what I don't want you to do is fatigue yourself that you don't do the close grip pullovers correctly. 10, 11, 12. Now, if they're too much, it's okay. Do a mountain climber. Any cardio will work. Alrighty, broad jump burpee. 1, 2, 3. Take breaks when you need to, but try not to. Lower the weight. Don't use any weight so you can get through all of them. 4, 1. Here's 5. We're halfway there. 1. Here's 6. Oh. Here's 7. 1. Here's 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's 9. Sometimes you have to stop and shake out your legs. 2, 3. Here's 10. 1, 2, 3, 4. Woo! All right. You ready? I'm going to use the sandbag again, but I'm going to hold it in the center. Come down onto your back, engage the core. Press that back flat into the floor. 1, 2. The water sloshes. 3, 4. My middle son picked it up yesterday to move it from the car because my husband was taking my car to the airport. And he said, how do you work out with this? He says, it moves around. I said, that's the point. Here's 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, I can't go down as low with this one. 11, to the chest. 12, without the bag resting on my chest. 13, 14. So I'm going to do 15 of them so I really feel it. Whew. Okay. All right, dips. Now, the other thing you can do is if you're a beginner and you can't get all 12 out, you can go 1, 2, and up. 2, 2, and up. Or you can do them One beat at a time. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. This is this last set of these. If you're a beginner, you can skip the third set, kickbacks, to engage the core. Back is flat. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Bending at the elbow. If your weight is too heavy, you'll be doing this. See how you swing your arms? No, no, no. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Here comes the sweat. Woo! Okay. Plies. Get wide. Toes are wide. Heels are lined up with your shoulders. 2, 3. Feel that in your inner thigh. 4, engage it to jump up. 6, do you know how you engage it to jump up? Put the weight in your heels, not the fronts of your feet. Here's 8. If you're holding weights and you're feeling it in the quadriceps up here, drop those weights. Here's 10. 11, 12. You don't get me wrong, you will feel it a bit in your quads, but you want to be engaging the inner thighs. Broad jump, burpee, low duck walk. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 2, 3, 4. 4, 2, 3, 4. Halfway there. Here's 5. 5, 2, 3, 4. Woo! Here's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's 9. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's 10. Oh, wow. Feel it? Ready to move on? Don't make you do a 4th set. Oh. Ah. Okay. Woo. Thunder and lightning. I'm not sure if it'll miss us or not. Right side lunge, left side lunge. 2, 3, 4. See how my knee does not go past my toe on those side lunges. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. You can go 15 to 20 on these. 14, we're going to do 15 for the beginners. 15. Whew. I'm going to lower the weight down. I'm going to take those hands behind my head. Now we're focusing on the right side. Right crunch, knee up. Don't bring your elbow to your knee. Bring your knee to your elbow. There's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm twisting my body across, but I'm not coming down to meet it. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Now we've got the left leg. 1, 2. You don't have to touch the knee to the elbow. It's pulling up and hitting that oblique. Here's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I want you to grab a lower weight than what you normally do. I'm going to grab 8s so you can learn this move. All right? Bring the arms up. Chest press, turn, kick back. 2. Then you can go up and weight. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're not turning these ones to the ceiling. Just straight back. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 5 more. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Oh. Okay, jump lunges. 20 of these. So it's 10 each side. Got it? So it's 1, 1, 2, 2, or 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13, 14, 17, 18, 19, 20. Shake them out. Towel off. I got sweat rolling down into my eyes. Grab your weight if you want. You don't have to use weight. Side lunge, no weight. 1. Now, make sure you're not turning and facing that leg and focusing on the quad. Make sure that it feels like you've got a bar running up and down your spine. You don't want to lunge forward like this, all right? You want to stay upright. Feel it in the inner thigh of the straight leg. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. If they start to feel too easy, before you add weight, here's 12. Go up another round or another repetition. So if you're doing 15, do 20. 13, 14, and 15. If you want to do 20, you go ahead. All right, right lunge, knee up. Engage the stomach as you pull the knee up. 3, 4, and twist. Twist to that knee. 6, 7, 8. Some things might be easier. This might be easy, and you might want to do 20 of these. 11, 12, 13. The lunges might be harder. Here's 15. So you might only do 15 of them. When it starts to get easy is when you start to change it up, add more reps. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Now, if that move felt easy with the dumbbell and you want to go up a notch, now that you know the technique, you can go up if you want. Chest press, kick back. 2, kick back. 3, 4, 5, 6. See how my feet are wide? Inner thighs. 7. You know how you get the inner thighs? 8. Don't roll out on your toes. 9. When you come up, put the weight in your heels to come up. Here's 11. 12. 13. 14. 15. 16. I might not make it to 20 with these. 17. 18. Here's 19. Here's 20. I'm not doing the chest press. Woo! And it's okay. You don't have to. You know what I forgot? Oh no, I did them. Side jump lunges. Okay, 20 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 10, 11, 14, 15, 18, 19, 20. Ready for the third round? Are you feeling it here? I am. Woo. If you don't want to do the third round, if you're a beginner, it's okay. Fast forward to circuit 3, next orange border. All right? Add your weight if you want to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, whew. Here's 12, 13, 14, 15. Woo. If you want to drop that weight, if you have a vest on, that's fine. But make sure when you do these lunges that that vest isn't too heavy, that you're looking down. You want to keep your back straight, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, you'll feel it in the inner thigh of the straight leg, the quad of the bent leg, and the obliques as you twist. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, you ready? 1. Take as long of a break as you need, but it's better to keep moving. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I'm going to grab those 10s again. You want it to be challenging, but still keeping the form. So, if you get to number 12 and you have to drop those weights, it's okay. Chest press, turn. 1. That's not thunder, it's the garbage man. 3, 4, 5, 6. Tell me, is the weight in your heels as you press up, or are you rolling to your toes? 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Here's what it looks like with no weight. 17, and it's all right. Squeeze. Here's 19. Here's 20. Woo. Jump lunges, and then we can move on. You're rewarded with the next circuit. Okay, side jump lunge. 1, 2, 5, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 15, 18, 19, 20. Feel it in your thighs. Lunge. So you want to stand, and what you want to do is you want to just position yourself to see where you need to stand, but your knee should be lined up with your ankle, and your knee, the left knee, should be dropping towards the floor. If you lower all the way down, guess what? You push through the butt to come back up. Don't touch your knee to the floor. You want to hover, 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 hover. So here's where the pelvic tilt comes in. Push that tailbone down to the floor. Pelvic tilt. So you're not lunging forward like this. Don't come forward and hyperextend that knee. Plant that foot. And if you need to stay in this position and do 10 on this side, and then switch and do 10 on this side, and if you need to hold on to something, my beginners at the gym, I would have them do it at the squat rack, and I'd put the bench in there and I'd have them hold. So if they were doing their right leg, they would balance themselves to know that they were going up and down. You can do it on the floor. You don't need a bench. The nice thing about the bench is the bench elevates it so you can go down and not drop that knee to the floor. Because as soon as you do, you press through the butt to come up. Now, if you are lunging, alternating, you go down. Now, I'm only 5'3", so I stand about, I don't know, what is that, about a half a foot, maybe 12, not 12 inches, maybe 10 inches away from the bench. If you've got long legs, you might be back here. My legs aren't that long, so I'm halfway, all right? So the important thing is find your position, whether you're on a bench or whether you're on a floor. Knee is lined up with the ankle, other knee, you pelvic tilt, and you drop down, okay? Now here's the trick. Weight is in the heel on that front leg. If it's not, and you roll to the toe, you engage the quadricep. You want inner thigh. You want inner thigh as you're dropping down and coming up. See how I'm on my toe and I'm resting? If you can lift that toe of the foot planted off of the floor and force yourself to use the heel, you won't roll into that foot and engage the quad to come up. I hope that makes sense. So it took a little more time than we needed to, and we didn't know we needed to do that. Because anybody who says they have knee problems and can't lunge is not doing lunges properly, more than likely. I know you can have knee injuries that you've come from something else, but you can strengthen all around that kneecap to support it. Most people don't. Most people focus just on the front of the quad. Never get the teardrop. Never get the supporting muscles around the knees, and that's what you need to do. And that's where these lunges are awesome. Just by turning your toes, you are going to hit different angles of it and help strengthen it all the way around. So, shut up, Michelle, let's go. Front bench lunges are first. I'm going to use my bag. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. You can do upwards of 20 of them if you want. Okay, grab a weight that's challenging for you. I'm gonna take a 15-pounder. Okay, and I think we're doing squats first, right? Wide feet, wide toe squats. So toes are out, 2 and 11, and you're gonna go down and then raise up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 5 more, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Squat with an alternating side leg lift. So, squat down, lift. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Nose buster with a close grip press. If you have an easy curl bar, that's the bent bar. You can use it. I know not everybody has that for a home gym. Everybody's got at least a dumbbell or a kettlebell. Press that back into the floor, engage the core. Nose buster, close grip press. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, All tricep and core. Here's 8, 9, 10, 11. Are you pressing that back into the floor? 12, 13. Maybe you have a light weight and you need to do, here's 15, all the nose busters first, and then go on to the close grip press. That's fine. Maybe you have 2 light weights and you need to do 1 in each hand. That's fine. Modify it. I'll show you different ways. Okay, you ready for this kick-ass burpee? Lena, I know you are. Olivia, I know you are. Conchana, you're going to tell me this is a favorite. All right, down, kick, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, here's 10. Oh. Woo. Okay. Feel that? Weight is in the heel of the front lunging leg. 2, 3, 4, legs are shaking. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Wow. Okay. Feel that? Ready for your squat? Toes are pointed out, 2 and 10. 1, raise up. 2, 3, 4. If this hurts your shoulders, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, here's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, here's 15. Feel them? Woo! Squat with an alternating leg lift. If you want to hold a weight, that's fine. If you want your arms to have a break, that's fine. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 more. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nose busters with a close grip press. Here's 2 dumbbells. Say you have lighter weights. 1. Maybe you want to keep them all here. 2, 3. Are you engaging that core? Pressing that lower back into the floor? 5. But if you want to do them together, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh, okay. Oh. We've got those kick butt, kick ass burpees. You can add push-ups in here if you want. I don't want to add push-ups in. Most people, women, it's not their chest, it's the backs of their arms, their triceps, which is why I do close grip pullover, close grip presses. I do nose busters. They engage the chest, but the focus is on the tricep. If you want to tighten up that underarm, you need to be doing tricep moves. Compound exercises are awesome. It's not all about the weight. It's about controlling the movement. So let's kick ass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If you need to step back and not do the jump, 8, 9, 10. One more time through. If you're a beginner, fast forward to circuit 4. It's taken me a little bit longer because I'm teaching you as we go. 1, I'm not doing weights. 1, 2, 3. Is that weight in the heel? Are you pushing up from the inner thigh and the heel? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 15. You feel them? Okay. So, when we do these squats, I know I have you holding back here and you're extending on the way up. If you go down with the weight on the way down, do you see what happens? You have a tendency to look forward, the knees go past the toes, the weight rolls out of the heels, and you're now a quadricep move. You want an inner thigh move. If you have 2 dumbbells and they're light and you need more, Anna, I know you're traveling, I want you to hold them bent. Engage the triceps. Lower down, up and squeeze. Okay? 4, 5, woo, 6. Now, it's okay if you can't go down as far as me. You might have to lower the weight. 7. But when you go down, you're getting those inner thighs. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Whew. Squat with an alternating side lift. The other day, when I did my day 1 workout, I was soaked. The outsides of my shoes were soaked, my shoelaces. I think you guys were all telling me the same thing. You were dripping with sweat. 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, nose busters are next. Pick your poison. If you only have 1 set of weights, it's okay. It's all right. Engage those muscles. Say you only have a 10. Is your back flat? Press it in. 1 and down. 2. What you might have to do is go down, 2, up, 2, down, 2, since your weight is lower. Or you can do more repetitions, but you're better off going slow and engaging. Are you holding that stomach in? I'll go up to speed. Here, 7, 8. If you finished, you get a break. 9, because I was doing doubles. 10, 11, 12. You can go up to 15 if you want. 13, 14, 15. You want to remember too, if the weight is too heavy, your elbows will flare out. You want them close, all right? And if your weights are light, you can even drop them down and twist them out, like so, to get the triceps if they're light. If they're heavy, I wouldn't recommend that. That puts a lot of stress on the joint holding that heavy weight, unless you can. All right, let's finish out with these kick butt burpees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Here's 10. Are they tired? I'm not jumping. Woo! Grab a drink. Okay, we're a little longer today because of me showing you, but I would rather take the time to show you and have you do it right than sideline you. Inner thigh lunges. They're like front bench lunges, but you think 2 o'clock with your toe, 10 o'clock with your toe. Well, more like 1 and 11. Heel stays the same. Heel is coming in front. Toe is pointing out. Don't roll into that toe. Okay, same thing. If you need to plant and go from here, you go from here. See, inner thigh, inner thighs. Squeeze them together. That's what you want to think about. Don't roll into that toe and get that quad. Okay? Plies Squat, step together, T-raise, push up, and dip with dancing crab. And then all we have left are thigh burner burpees. Kanchana, there for you. Push up, no push up, doesn't matter. I'm not doing push-ups because I'm doing a T-raise push-up. You don't need a ton of push-ups. You don't. You can do variations if you want. You can do close grip, which is what I do with the T-raise, to hit the triceps more. I don't want to build my chest, okay? If you want to, if you like that, well, go ahead. It's entirely up to you. So inner thigh lunges. They're like front bench lunges, but you think 2 o'clock with your toe, 10 o'clock with your toe. Well, more like 1 and 11. Heel stays the same. Heel is coming in front. Toe is pointing out. Don't roll into that toe. Okay? Same thing. If you need to plant and go from here, you go from here. See, inner thigh, inner thighs. Squeeze them together. That's what you want to think about. Don't roll into that toe and get that quad. Okay? Plies squat, step together, T-raise push up, and dip with dancing crab. And then all we have left are thigh burner burpees, kanchana, there for you. Push up, no push up, doesn't matter. I'm not doing push ups because I'm doing a T-raise push up. You don't need a ton of push ups. You don't. You can do variations if you want. You can do close grip, which is what I do with the T-raise, to hit the triceps more. I don't want to build my chest, okay? If you want to, if you like that, well, go ahead. It's entirely up to you. But it's your option. Do what you want. Okay. If you want to do weight, you have to make sure, we're going to start, that your back is flat. You're not leaning into it, upright. So pick a spot in front of you and look out. Don't look down at your legs. Know that you're planting your foot on the step or the floor. 3, 4, 5. I love this one. I feel it so much in my inner thighs just by turning the toes out. 6, 7, 8. See how I don't go over my toe? 9, 10, 11, 12. 3 more. 13, 14, and 15. Woo! I am not using weight for this next one. I'm going to explain why. Because it's an inner thigh move. You are wide, plie. You're going down and you're stepping in. So you're pulling with that standing inner thigh. If you are using a weight and you're only going to here, quadriceps people. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Focus on the inner thighs. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. T-raise push-up. We're doing 10 to 12. Push-up, raise overhead. Now, when you do your push-ups, pull forward, elbows down at the side. 3, engage the core. Head and neck are lined up with the spine. 5, 6, 7. If you need to do your knees, it's okay. 8. 9. 10. 2 more. 11. 12. Woo. dancing crab. You can either do this on the floor or on the step. If you're on the step, you get a little more height, you can lower down more tricep. Remember, hands are lined up with the butt. Down, opposite hand, opposite knee. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We need to do 10 more. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, okay. This is why I told you you don't need push-ups with these burpees. Are your arms shaking? Thigh burner burpees, Conchana. You got it. Squat, inner thigh lift. There's 2. Squat, stay low. Bring that arch to your hand. Here's 4. Squat, lift. Here's 5. Here's 6. Feel them. 7. 8. 9. I think these were Daniela's too, one of her favorites. 10. Whew. Okay. Now, if you use weight the first time through, you might want to skip it and see how it feels. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Woo! Lost my balance there. Not focusing. 6. Are you keeping that weight in your heel? Don't push through the toe. 7. 8. Woo. 9. Here's 10. Are you feeling them in your inner thighs? 13, 14, 15. These are one of my favorite lunges. If you want to work on your inner thighs, you could do these 3 days a week with a break in between each day. If you want to shrink that inner thigh, it is one of the best moves for that. I forget what we're doing, a Plies Squat, step together. This one too. Squat and step together. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This was only 5 each leg. We got 10 more. 1, 2. Go down. Feel that inner thigh engage. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Okay, if you don't have dumbbells or you don't want to use dumbbells for your push-ups, it's okay. Just remember, get into the plank, pull forward, push up, and T-raise. 2, 3, 4. Maybe you're a beginner. Maybe you need to come to the step so you don't go down as far. 5, but you don't want to be on your knees. 7, 8, 9, 10. 2 more. 11. 12. Woo. Dips with dancing crab. If you don't have a bench or you don't want to be on the bench, doesn't matter. Line your hands up. Down, kick up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 more. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Thigh burner burpees, push up or none. I'm not doing any. You can. 1, 2. Squeeze those inner thighs. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Whew. One more round through. If you need a drink, grab a drink. If you're a beginner, fast forward, go to abs. How you feeling? Let's lunge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Is the weight in your heels? Don't roll into your toes. 12, 13, 14, 15. Woo! You got this. We're almost done. Inner thigh. Squat step together. 1. Squeeze them. 2. Woo. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Don't roll to your toes. Weight is in the heels. 1, 2. We got 10 more. 3, 4, 5. I'm soaked. 6. I don't think there's a dry spot on me. 8, 9, 10. Oh, did you see my kickball out here? Okay, T-raise push-ups. You pick, I gave you different ways. 1, 2, pull forward. 3, hands are lined up with the shoulders. 4, 5. If it gets to be too much, don't stop. Lower down. 6, 7. When you feel like you can try another one, 8, 9, 10. If you need to stop at 10, that's fine. Work up to 12. 11. Woo. And 12. Dips with dancing crab. Triceps and abdominals. You pick floor, bench, coffee table, couch. 3. Don't let your triceps flare out, your elbows flare out. Not your triceps, your elbows. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Can we do 10 more? 10, 9, 8, 7. Olivia, I know you wanted more tricep work. You got it, baby. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Woo. Did I burn our burpees? You still doing those push-ups? You are a beast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Woo! Holy moly. Okay, I'm gonna drink. All right, you ready for some abs? Okay, I stopped here and there to explain these moves. My watch says 357 calories. If I were to keep going, when I'm in the gym and I do this, my metabolic resistance training, I try and stop at an hour. I'm hitting the hyperextension bench at an hour. I'm usually upwards of closer to 500 calories. I'm not stopping, I'm not talking, I'm not explaining. I'm working the whole time. My rest is the cardio move to move into the next round. My break is when I switch from circuit to circuit and I have to put things away and get things out. So I'm moving. It is a continual movement is what it is, and it's awesome. I brought a kickball out. Okay, not all of you can have somewhere to get a Pilates ball. Maybe you don't have Amazon Prime or something. And they're more expensive. They're like $15. You can go to Walmart, Target, any of those cheapy stores, probably even a dollar bargain store. I didn't even look there. And you can get a kickball for under $5. And it's awesome. I actually think I like it. Look, I've laid on it and bulged it out, but it's a rubber ball, okay? It's not the vinyl one, so it won't pop on you. And it has a thing where you can pump it up, and it usually comes with one that you can pump it up, pump the air up if you want it firmer. And I think I like it better. The Pilates ball has a plug. And after you blow it up with the little tube, you have to plug it, and you lose air. And I think the air leaks out around the plug too. I don't think it's sealed as much. So each time I use it, I have to blow it up before I use it. So I am going to show you abs with a kickball today. We have 7 exercises, and then we are going to hold for a minute plank. All right? We are going to go through them. I don't know, 2 or 3 rounds, we'll see. I can't hear you moan and groan, so I might make you do 3. These are all time, these are all repetitions. Lily, I know you have a problem with repetitions, it's okay. You can make this, any of you can make this a timed one. You can do 10 and 30, 10-second break, 30-second work, 15 and 45 if you want a little bit longer between the abs. I'm not giving us a break. We're going from one to the next with the repetitions. If you need a break in between the reps, if you're starting to lose your form and you want to pull your knees in, you pull your knees in and take a break so that you're not using the hip flexors, you're not arching the back. But I am going to remind you the whole time. Everybody seems to like that. You all say you like that I remind you and I cue you. So I love your feedback. Give me your feedback, because I don't have an audience in front of me to tell me, and I don't have anybody to look at. So I just constantly am trying to remind and think. So plus count and pay attention. So everything is on the floor. And I have the breakdown on underneath my video, but the first 3 are going to be with your back on the ball. If you don't have a ball, it's okay. If you can't sit in a position and hold your stomach in an arch, a curled position like this, where you're holding your tummy in and you're in a C position, basically is what it is, and you'll go back and up. If you have a ball to support your back, it fills in the gap here, and that way you're constantly thinking, oh, I gotta hold my stomach in as I do these, okay? Just support your back a little bit more. If you can't stay up, come down, and you're gonna do a crunch up, because that's all we're doing is crunching the upper body. Now the thing you wanna remember is what do you wanna do? Press your back into the floor, engage your core, tailbone pushes towards your feet. You're not hollowing and arching up, see, when I do that, I get my hip flexors right here. As soon as I pelvic tilt and curl up, hip flexors engage. Stomach, you push it out. You want to engage, and you want to push down, and you want to look through your knees. So if it helps, you can reach. All right? So we're going to do 20 of those. We're going to stay then on the ball, and we are going to do leg raises for 20, crunching in. Then you're going to hold, and you're going to tap side to side to get those obliques started. Okay? Then we're going to hovering star crunch, laying on the ball on the right side. I'm going to show you this one. If you have the ball, you're going to put it underneath your rib cage. Kick my sandbag out of the way. Now, you're not pushing with this hand. You're resting the hand, and you're crunching up. So you're laying on the right side, you're crunching the left oblique. Then we're going to do the left side. But if you don't have that, you can always do a plank, okay? I need to get on the floor so my feet don't slide. Plank hip raise, same thing, side plank raise, all right? And then for Lena, you like Russian twists. We're going to do Russian twists with the ball. So let me hit the timer. Everything is counting, repetitions. 20 of everything except the hovering star crunch. We're doing 15 of those because I really want you to engage the core. I don't want you to be fatigued. If you can do 20, great. If you can only do 10, that's okay. Work up to it to where you can get all of them in. If you want to hold a weight, that's fine. If you want to hold a weight overhead. But what I don't want you to do is I don't want you to do this where you arch your back and press your stomach out. It is a small lift and crunch up. 2, 3, 4, 5. You can even go 6, 7, 8, 9. I just want to focus on the abs. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, ready to keep this crunch with the knee raise. 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3. Don't pull the knee in. 5. Raise it up. Engage the lower abdominals. 9, 10, 11, 13, 14, 15, 17, 18, 19, 20. Hold it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Remove that ball. 1, 2, hover if you can. 3, it's all right if you can't. 4, 5, here comes the rain. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Sorry, tailbones start to hurt. 11, concrete's hard. 12, even with the mat. 13, 14, 15. Right side, ball goes under the right side or you do a plank, either one. Under the rib cage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Don't pull with the head and neck. Contract the obliques. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Left side. Ball under the left side, you're doing the right oblique. Remember, you're just balancing with this hand. Don't press the mat to bring it up. If it helps, take the arm and turn the palm face up. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 15, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Russian twist for Lena. Lena, here you go. If you want to hold a dumbbell, you can. It's like drawing a half a rainbow or a full rainbow, up and over. 6, 8, 9, 10, 11. Keep your arms out. Don't bring them in close. You cheat. 12. Extend them out. Engage the core. 14, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. You ready to hold that plank? Okay, I want you to focus on these. All right? Come into that elbow plank. I'm going to have to turn. Okay, I need to get my minute timer. I didn't do that. Sorry. Don't do it yet. Ugh, you're blind as a bat. Hold on, you don't have to do it yet. Here, just stay down. Sorry, I should have had this set up. My bad. Okay, there we go. Are you ready? When you do this plank, you want to be on your elbows, and you want to have that head out of the turtle shell. Remember me telling you that? That you want to pull your head and neck forward, and that will engage your core. If you're hunched up like this, you round your back and you suck your stomach in. You want to flatten that back You want to press out of the shoulders so that the weight isn't in your elbows or your wrists if you're on your palms. But you want to pull out and you want to lengthen the abdominals, all right? But you want to keep your back flat and the stomach sucked in, but by pulling your head and neck out instead of hunching up and looking under or looking down, you want to look out between your hands. You want to feel like your feet are up against the back of a wall. We're almost there. Woo! Okay, ready for a second round? Let's do a second round. Then we'll see how I feel. Maybe see if the rain's gonna thunder and lightning and scare us away, right? I know, you guys will go for 3. If you don't want 3, you can turn it off. You can turn it off, they say. Lori said to me, was it Lori, I think? Lori, thank you. She said, I don't know why people complain about how long it is. If they don't want to do a long one, they can just shut it off. Amen, sister, preach. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. If you don't have a ball, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Leg lifts. You can do up, 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 6, 7. Hurts my tailbone though. You guys can do it. I like the ball. Buy yourself a $5 kickball. 6, 7, 8. Remember, knees are not coming in. Up. Engage the core. 11, 12, 13, 15, 17, 19, 20. Hold it here. Tap. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 more. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hovering start crunch. I gotta pull this down so my butt is on it. Pat my butt. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Woo! Right side. You have that ball? If you don't have the ball, side plank. Let me show you without the ball, and then I'll go to the ball. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Left side. Either a ball or a plank. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Woo! Okay, Lena, that Russian twist. Are you ready? 1. You don't have to use anything. 4. 5. Lower body is still. 8. 9. 11. 12. 13. 15. 16. 18, 19, 20. Ready for that plank? Can we do it one more time through? If you don't want to, turn it off. Okay, you in your plank? Is your head and neck pulled forward? Are you pressing out of the shoulders, engaging the core? Feels like your feet are up against a wall. That means you're balancing on your toes. See my toes? Pull out of those shoulders, hold that plank. Don't look under your body. When you look under, you round and you engage more of the chest. You want to come out. Pull that head out away from the shoulders and the neck. Make it long. Engage the core. Feel it pull from the bottom of your sternum, your chest, to the top of your pelvis. You should feel it. We're almost done. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Are you shaking? Woo! Okay, one more time through, peeps. One more time through. Put that ball back there if you have that ball. If not, crunches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I love this ball. 18, 19, 20. Knee lift. Doesn't take up a lot of space, but it fills in the back. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Makes you focus on using your abdominals. Takes the focus out of holding you, trying to hold up, engage, and then you end up engaging your hip flexors. There is no hip flexor movement in this. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it here. Tap out. 2. There's 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 more. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, hovering start crunch. I'm a wimp. I need a towel, or I tear the skin off of my tailbone. Move my ball. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. All right, grab that ball, right side. Don't use your hand. Remember, underneath the rib cage, curl. This just lets you go a little bit further. Now you should not be pulling with the head and neck like this. All right, you should be engaging the core. If I take my hand away from my head, it is not my head and neck pulling. Put your hand right here on that left side. Feel those muscles engage. 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. You get a nice soothing rain for our cool down. We'll all be ready for a nap after this, right? 1, oops, there we go. 1, 2. Now, if you want to make it easier, bend those knees. Shorten your lever. If not, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We have Lena's Russian twist now. 16, 17, 18, 19. She told me that orange she feels with her abdominals. Everybody's got their thing. And anytime you don't feel a move and you want to substitute something else in there, you go right ahead. I am just here to give you guidance and options on exercises. You know your body. I can't see you. I can't say your form is not right. 8, 9, 10. I love to hear it when you say, I did this instead of what you were doing. I'm glad you are thinking outside the box. I'm glad you're not forcing your body to do something just because I'm doing it. 5, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Plank last time, I promised. Get into your plank position. Remember, head out of the turtle shell. Head and neck. You want them to come forward. Come forward, engage that core. Don't look under the body. Press the elbows, press out of the chest. And then you want to pull forward and engage that core. You want to think about this when you do any type of a plank move, okay? This is what you should be thinking about. If you have time, you should be practicing these in this form. That way, when you go into a plank, you automatically get into this position. You don't hunch your back. You don't look under your body. You pull out like somebody's got a string pulling from your head and your neck down to your tailbone. Almost done. 10, 9, 8. Count it down with me. It's like New Year's. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Woo! Oh my goodness. Okay. Let's cool it down and stretch. Let me move my bench. Whew, I am so... That was a good workout. I hope you guys liked it. Like I said, that is what I do when I'm at the gym. Shoulders. Let's give those shoulders some love. The chest and the shoulders. Okay, sit down. If you can, cross one leg over top of the other. I'm going to do my right leg over top of my left leg first. You want to have a triangle with your legs. So right here is the length, and here is the point coming in. Bring those arms up and over the head. Reach up with the right arm, or reach up with the left arm and pull the right arm over. We're going to stretch it one way, so you feel that pull down the right oblique. And then you're going to lower that right arm down, and you're going to fall over to the right side and stretch out the left side. Now, you want to put that weight into the right hand. You want to make sure that the left hip is staying on the floor. If you're going like this and raising up, you need to walk it back, okay? You want to stay on the ground, feel that stretch all the way from the outside of the hip all the way up. And if you can turn and look up at the ceiling and open up that chest, you get a nice stretch through the chest. You can even bind here by dropping your hand behind you and to your right side, the waist. But you don't have to. You take it to your range of motion, here, here, or here. Come on back up. Bring the arms up overhead. Bring the left hand to the right knee. Take the right hand behind and twist it open. Feel a nice stretch through the outside of the chest and the shoulders. Deep breath, inhale. And then twist and turn a little bit further. And my back just went pop, 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 all the way down. You want to sit up. Keep the weight. Keep the balance in both sit bones, right and left. And you're going to release it. Come back around to the front. I want you to take those hands and I want you to lift up first and stretch out the shoulders and the back. And then you're going to fall forward with these. So you might have to go further back. Then we're going to fold the chest in and stretch round the back, round it in and squeeze the chest. And then open it up. One more time. Round it in and fall forward. You bend at the waist. Don't round at the head and the neck. All right? And then come back up. Now we're going to uncross that right leg and the left leg's going to go on top. Don't worry, we'll get to the inner thighs. We won't forget about them. I just need to loosen up the chest and the shoulders and the tricep area. So raise up, take the left hand, sorry. We're going over and stretching the left side first. Make sure you're not leaning down and looking down. You want to try and look up. Even if you can't turn and look all the way up, I don't have that kind of flexibility in my back. But I can go forward, I can go over to the right without falling forward. And then release it. Bring the left hand down and bring the right arm over. Keep the right hip on the floor. If that means that you need to come up a little bit to do that, that's okay. You don't have to bend at the waist. Now, you can either be straight over, you can lean back, or you can bind. But if you bind, don't let that shoulder round in. Try and keep that shoulder open. All right? And release it, come back up. Take that right arm up and bring it across to the left. Bring that left hand to the back. Twist around and open up the chest. Deep breath, inhale and release. Exhale and go a little bit further. I didn't pop on this side. And release it, come back around. We gotta hug those shoulders this way. One more time. Pull them down. Okay, now, take the hands behind you and you're gonna interlace the fingers and press down. We're gonna open up that chest. You're gonna fall forward. You're bending at the waist and you're gonna rest your chest on your legs and you're gonna raise the arms up over your head and stretch out the tops of your shoulders. Try and keep the palms together. If that means that you only come to here, if you're flexible and you can get those arms all the way up over your shoulders, awesome. I can't do that. I'm not that flexible. But you're bending at the waist and you're stretching the hips and the thighs out and you're getting the triceps and the chest. And release it, come down. Release it, come onto the hands and knees. We need to do a cat-cow. And we're gonna do a puppy dog pose and then we're gonna focus on those legs. So, cat-cow, hands are underneath the shoulders. Cat, you look out, again, head and neck are pulled out of that turtle shell. Now when you do this, see how my back arches? You don't want to be like this where you're lifting your head to the ceiling and pinching your back and the spine. You want to pull forward and look out and feel that stretch in the stomach while still engaging the core. Exhale and round it under. Punch that back up. Again, inhale. Pull that head and neck out. Do you feel that stomach stretch? That's what you want. And exhale. One more time. Inhale. Do you have it? And exhale. Hold it in your exhale. Walk your hands out to puppy pose.
You want to keep the knees and the hips lined up, and you want to drop the elbows out by the head. You're resting on the forehead, and you're going to bring the arms up like you're doing a shark, like it's a shark fin. And you'll feel that stretch in the shoulders and the triceps and in the chest. So let's just hold it here and breathe. Inhale, and exhale, lower it down. Inhale, are you engaging that core? You're not letting it hang out, are you? And exhale, let it down. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. Hold it here. Hold it here and stretch out the chest. Walk the hands in. Woo, my Lord. Woo! Okay, take that right hand and put it in the front. Raise that left arm up and stretch it out. We're going to thread that needle. So you're going to tuck it under, and you're going to lay down on the head and your neck and extend that arm out. Now, your knees and your hips are lined up. You're not sitting back into a child's pose yet. You're still up like you're in that puppy pose. Pull that right hand in. Left hand raises up, and then plant it. Right hand goes up. We're going to thread that needle. Tuck it under. And take that left arm out. Oh, my arms are shaking. I don't know about you guys, but mine are shaking. Whew. And release it. Bring that left hand in. Raise that right arm up. And lower it down. From here, I want you to bring the left leg back. Pad the knee if you need to. Olivia, if this hurts your knee, pad your knee. You're going to come up into a runner's lunge. If you need to stay down, that's fine. Stay down. If you can come up and lift that chest up, remember, it's not a lunge forward. You're engaging your pelvic tilt, engaging the core, and pushing the tailbone down. You're squeezing your thighs together for a nice stretch. And I'm going to take it into lizard pose here in a minute. And we're going to stretch out the quadricep really well. So you're going to lower it down. You're going to take that foot, that right foot, walk it out so that the toe is pointing at 2 o'clock. If you can come down to the floor, come down to the floor. Now the trick is don't be like this. Don't hunch up under. If you can again pull that head and neck out, you'll feel that stretch in the quadricep of the right leg. You'll feel it in the inner thigh, and you'll feel the abdominals tighten as you pull your chest through. All right? Don't round your chest and crunch your upper, don't crunch your midsection together. Pull it out and make it long. Make it long and engage that core. Now, we did this quad. We got to do the left quad. So we're going to come up, and you're going to reach back with the opposite hand, and you're going to balance on the left hand, and you're going to pull that right foot up. If you can grab a hold of the under part of your toes and stretch out the quad on that left side. It's okay if you can't reach the foot and you've got pants on, or you need to wrap a towel around your foot. It's all right. And then what you're going to do is you're going to let that right hip fall out, and you're going to feel that stretch in the hip flexor on that left leg, the one that's got the leg bent. You're going to feel that pull through the front of the leg and the quadricep. Feels awesome. Okay, now you're not going to slingshot that foot back. You're going to bring that right leg back up. You're going to let that left leg go. We're going to come into a pigeon with that right foot before we move on. So let's stretch out the hips and the chest. So bring your hands back, and you want to pull your chest forward, all right? Don't round it in. Look up and pull out, all right? Back is flat. Don't pinch it. Don't come up like this and pinch the spine. You don't want to pinch those discs. You want to pull and lengthen out. Think of lengthening. Think of a string pulling you. And you should feel that on the hip on the right side, and you should feel that in the hip flexor on the left side. You're gonna walk it out and just release. If you want to do that twisted pigeon, take that left arm under. I love the twisted pigeon because it gets the hip on the right leg, it gets the quad on the left leg, it gets the shoulders and the back and the chest. What more could you ask for? Now, think about your stomach. Is it hanging out or are you holding it in? Are you engaging your core? Are you keeping your head and neck long? Are you keeping it lined up with the spine? You should be. Bring the right hand up. One more time, stretch through. Feel that? Doesn't that feel awesome? And you're not pinching your back. You're not coming up so far that you bend at your back and pinch those discs in the back and your lower back. You want to pull through. You want to feel a stretch in the chest and in the hips and up the back and the stomach. All right, hands come to the front. And we're going to switch legs. So right leg's going to go back. We're going to chaturanga down. Upward facing dog. Come back. Downward facing dog. Walk the feet out. Woo. All righty. We're going to step. Take the left leg up. And you're going to pull it through. And you're going to step in. And we're going to do that runner's lunge first. Okay. So pad your knee, Olivia, if you need to. If you can, your runner's lunge should be where you, again, you're not coming forward. You're not doing this. Your pelvic tilting, that tailbone is pushing down to the floor, and that right hip is pushing forward. You're engaging the core, and if you can, hold that tight, hold the core tight, come out of that turtle shell. And we're going to lower the hand down to the floor. You're going to lizard pose the left foot out. And if you can, you're going to come down onto the elbows. And again, if you can't, as long as you're pulling forward, pull that head and neck out and engage the core as you stretch out quadricep, hip flexor, and quad on the right leg. All right, you know what we're going to do? Turn that toe out. You're going to balance on that right arm and you're going to reach back with that left. You are going to try and grab that toe. And again, you want to pull that head and neck, line it up with the spine. You don't want to be looking up and you don't want to be looking under. You want to be extending out like somebody's got a string on you, pulling you from your tailbone to your head, pulling in opposite directions. Feel that stretch in the quad on the right leg? I do. It feels awesome. And release it. Don't slingshot this foot down. Just let it go down. There you go. And you're going to walk that foot over, and we're going to do a lizard pose. Okay, you know what you got to do first? Pull out. Don't just jam yourself up. Pull out, okay? Make yourself long from your hips to your head. Make it long. Extend it out and engage the core. Roll your shoulders back. If you can, roll them back like so. It opens up your chest. We do so much stuff where we're sitting like this all day. We need to roll it out and start training the chest and the shoulders. You want to train them to stay back and stop rounding them in and giving you that hump in the back, in your back, across the tops of your shoulders. Okay, now lower it down. Oh. If you want the twisted pigeon, which I like, roll over onto the right arm, the right side, take that right arm under. Oh, this feels awesome. You should feel it in the hip, the piriformis, all the way down into the quad on the right side. If you're balancing, you should be balancing on that quad. You shouldn't be falling from one side to the other. You should be up balancing. So the left hip will be lifted off the floor, unless you're super, super flexible. I am not. Are you holding that stomach in? Are you thinking about that? It'll become second nature. I won't have to tell you, but I will constantly remind you. Okay, we're going to pull up into a plank. You're going to chaturanga down. Let's go through a couple flows, all right? Up to a downward facing dog. Right leg is going to go up first, so bring the toes together, heels apart, right leg up, three-legged down dog. You don't have to throw that right leg up to where you're off balance. Now we're going to turn it, and we're gonna line the hips up, all right? Now, you're gonna come forward again, and you're gonna pull through. We're gonna do a warrior one. We're gonna flow to a warrior two. We're gonna do a reverse warrior, and we're gonna cartwheel those hands down. You're gonna pull back, chaturanga down, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Hold here for 3. Bend the knees and walk the hands back. You're gonna hover, let it hang, grab the hands, grab the elbows, stretching out the hamstrings. You're gonna inhale to a flat back. So you wanna pull the head and the neck out. You might be at the shins, you might be at the quads. As long as your back is flat, your head and your neck are pulling out, and you inhale, exhale, bend the legs, raise up, deep breath, inhale, exhale, walk out to a plank, upward facing dog, you chaturanga down, and go back into a downward facing dog. Okay, left leg is gonna pull up. You're going to rotate it out, open up the hips and the inner thighs, feel the stretch in the obliques, and you're going to bring it in, bring that left leg in. Turn that right foot, warrior one up. Woo. Inhale, warrior two. Exhale, reverse warrior. Cartwheel those hands down, pull into a plank, chaturanga down. You can go to your knees, upward facing dog or cobra, back to a downward facing dog. Bend the knees, hop the feet forward, deep breath, inhale, bend at the waist. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, down. Inhale, raise up. Let's do that one more time. Fall forward, deep breath, inhale. Raise up. Exhale, hop back, chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Right leg goes up. Pull that right leg forward. Warrior one, come up. Rotate to a warrior two. Fall back to a warrior three. Cartwheel the hands around. Back into a plank, chaturanga down. Upward facing dog to a downward facing dog. Bend the legs, deep breath, inhale. Exhale, hop forward. Inhale, raise up, flat back. Exhale, bend down. Hold it here. Deep breath, inhale and raise up. And then exhale, circle the arms up over the head. Exhale, fall forward, deep breath, inhale. Hop back, chaturanga plank. Upward facing dog to a downward facing dog. Left leg goes up. Pull forward, plant it. Warrior one. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, warrior three. Cartwheel the hands around. Plank, chaturanga down. Upward facing dog. Back to a downward facing dog. I want you to hold it here. I want you to come up onto the toes. Bend the knees. Knees are wide, feet are together. Lower down into a child's pose. Stretch out those inner thighs and those hips. Now I'm going to do one more move with you, and we are going to open up the groin and the inner thighs. We are going to do a frog pose. So you want to take the feet and the knees a little bit wider, and what you're going to do is instead of, you want to come up so that you're on your elbows, and then you want to lower down to the floor with the chest as much as possible, but you don't want to sit back. You want to lower the legs down, almost like you're doing a split. And you should feel that in the inner thighs. We work so hard on them. And I know, just hold it here, wherever you are. I know it feels a little bit uncomfortable, but it's supposed to breathe. Breathe through that, press that uncomfortable feeling out as you exhale. So inhale and exhale. And as you hold it here and your body starts to loosen, the muscles start to loosen. Right now that you're in a position that they're saying, whoa, what'd you do to me? Give them time to relax. And then you'll see you can go a little bit further and a little bit further each time. And if you can, drop your head to the floor and just let it pull through the inner thighs. Now, don't do it to where you feel pain or discomfort. It should be a little uncomfortable, like a stretch, but it shouldn't be a painful, uncomfortable move. If this is painful, go back into a wide-legged child's pose. But if you can do the frog pose and stretch out those inner thighs that we work so hard, if that hurts, you can be in a seated position. That might hurt your knees, Olivia. You can be in a seated position and pull in, and that'll get your inner thighs as well. So you grab a hold of the feet and you pull in and you try to push your knees down. And this is a good inner thigh stretch as well. So you can decide what you want to do. Just breathe here for a minute, deep breath, inhale. I'm going to stay here instead of going back into, you can do either, it doesn't matter. I'll tell you, we're going to do one more stretch. This is, I think we did this the other day, and it's just awesome for the hip and the inner thigh. It's the figure 4 stretch, and I love it. So we're gonna finish up on our back. So release those knees and lay down on your back. One more pose, I promise. I could keep you here forever. I'm sorry. Okay, so arms are out to the side. Walk the feet so that they're over to the left, and drop the knees over to the right. Now you cross that left leg on top of that right leg and drop it out. You should feel a nice stretch in the inner thigh and the hip on that left side. I love this stretch. I lay in the evening and I do this one. I do the pigeon pose. I do the child's pose. I rumble roll. I hit them really hard. You can lay here as long as you want. But if you feel a nice stretch, you feel it pull through the oblique on the left side. You feel it pull, you feel a stretch through the inner thigh right here in the groin, and you feel it in the hip as you drop that knee out. And you don't compromise anything, it's really nice. And release it, bring that left leg back up. Now bring the legs up, and just give them a minute here. Windshield wiper those legs. Wake up those hips and say, okay, loosen them back up again. Now, you're going to take the legs to the right, and you're going to drop the knees to the left, and you're going to fold that right leg over the left. Oh, mama. I like that. You should feel that right here in the oblique. As you open that knee up, you should feel it open up through the waist. You should feel a stretch in the inner thigh. Right here in the groin, all right? This inner thigh muscle that we worked so hard on. See that right there? That's what you should have been focusing on today. And the hip, right here in the glute, out right here, down the part of the outer part of the glute. All the way down. You can feel it all the way into the knee, I think, depending on how far you drop your leg. It's okay if you're up here, if you're not that flexible, it's okay. If you need to be where you pull it in and stretch this way, it's all right. It's just a variation. I'm not as flexible, so my leg doesn't drop as far, but I do feel that stretch in the inner thigh. As you hold it here, if you can give yourself a minute or 2 minutes in these poses, and hold it there. You'll feel the muscles will start to relax after a while. They'll release, and you'll be able to go a little bit lower and a little bit lower. Just remember, you've worked them and you've tightened them. Now you have to release them at some point and give them that rest and let them, you know, relax again. You can't keep them in a constant state of tightness. Otherwise, down the road, you're going to end up with injuries. So for every hard workout that I do, I try and do a little bit of yoga or stretching to balance it out. So like I said, Sundays are my yoga day, where it's a restorative rest day, or it might be a Saturday. I might have something to do and I won't be able to get a workout in. So Saturday I make my restorative day. Sunday I make my run or, you know, workout. Usually it's a run because we're up and moving in the morning, so I hit it and go. Gym doesn't open until 10:30, or till 8:30, so I don't wait around. Everybody's different, but okay, I kept you here long enough. Release that. Windshield wiper these legs one more time. Just loosen those hips back up. I know we stretched them hard. Put a lot of strain on them. Hold it here, roll over onto either the left or the right. I'm going to face you instead of rolling to the back. Press the right hand or whichever top hand is in the floor and walk it up. You're going to sit here and straighten out the legs and just shake them out. Deep breath, inhale. Exhale, fall forward. Now you're bending at the waist. You're not rounding the head to the chest. Bend at the waist, keep the head and the neck pulled out. I can't emphasize that enough, that you want to extend out and keep the core extended out and not tucked and rounded. And roll back up, deep breath. Inhale one more time. Exhale, fall forward. You might be able to go a little bit further. Stretch out that back. It's okay if you're right here and you just drop those elbows to the floor and you're still bending at the waist. So you think chin to knees, forehead to shins, and bending at the waist, and feel a nice stretch in that back. And walk it back up. That was your workout today. I hope you enjoyed it. Thumbs up it. Don't forget, subscribe to my channel, share with friends. Have a great day, and thanks for watching.